What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is my first 3-liter that I am replacing, yes, the fuel filters on, and I don't know if any of you guys know how to replace this, but I'm going to show you how, and a special provided tool from CPGarage. All right, guys, let's check this out. What is going on, guys? Thanks so much for coming back. Thank you to CPGarage. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe because we're going to be dropping some 3-liter content for you guys. I do not get a lot of these little guys, but today we're replacing the fuel filters, and I had to do 20 E07, which was a PCM reprogram. Now this thing actually has 2 fuel filters. This is the primary underneath the truck, and I'm going to show you exactly where to get that. This is just a cartridge. You're throwing it away. That's it. And this is the one under the hood. Now, because of the way the lower is shaped, it's kind of hard to get a socket on that all the way. So CPGarage has provided this European socket for us so we can have a full grab around that whole hex, so we're not spinning or going to start rounding off this plastic material. So I have already gotten the truck set on the hoist. I'm going to lift it up and I'm going to show you where you're going to access the lower fuel filter on your 3-liter Powerstroke. This has 31,000 miles on it and is a 2018. All right, we're underneath the truck. Your transfer case, driver's side of your F-150, right in front of your fuel tank, there is a skid shield. We need to take that whole thing off because that filter is not gonna go through that hole. So it looks like we have a couple of 10s, a couple of 10s. Right here, we're gonna rip all 4 of those out and we're gonna take this bracket down. On the bracket, those are 13 mil bolts. I don't know why I thought those were 10s. But once the bracket's off, you can see here is the fuel filter. Now, a question that I know you guys are probably gonna ask, and I guess let's clear that up in the beginning. Is this going to keep draining like the Super Duties do? I know some of you guys said you've drained out 5-10 gallons worth of diesel fuel out of the fuel water drain, but I can't answer if that is going to do the same on this. This is the first time I've ever replaced fuel filters on a 3-liter, and that's kind of sad because for all the 3-liters that might be running around, I hope you guys are changing your fuel filters because I sure as hell don't want to replace your fuel system. So we're going to let that drain. I'm going to shortly let you know if that stops. It's not going to start draining, obviously, until that green O-ring is appearing. But the last video you guys saw, make sure to use your Tupperware container because the splash pad and area for you not to make a mess will happen all within that Rubbermaid container. So, all right, I'm gonna let this drain. All right, sweet, it stopped leaking, and this is the fuel filter socket that he got for us. And we're going to use a 1/2-inch drive tool. Let me go ahead and close this, and we'll mock the socket up. Check it out. Look at that. What a difference. Now, I don't know how far we're gonna go, but I do not see any gap between that lid and the housing. So let me conjure something together. All right, so we're going to attempt, as always, a one-handed. Let's see if we're going to be able to crack this loose or not. Oh, definitely hard. I'm going to need to hold the ratchet here, but you guys get the point. Let me start spinning this loose and we'll get a little further. All right, I got a good twist on it. This is the first twist, and I noticed that there's actually a stopper there. So just like our 6.7s on the 11 through 16, that stopper right here is going to go all the way against that this wall in here. So, all right, I'm going to continue forward. Whew, okay, that was actually pretty snug. Got my shoulders here burning. All right, got a little bit of a leak. Gonna let that drain. It's the first time that I've done this one, so I don't know really what I'm going to expect. Gonna let that drain here for a second. All right, she's still leaking pretty good, but I'm gonna go ahead. I've rolled the sleeve up and I'm gonna double rag it. I'm gonna try to bring this down as controlled as I can. All right, here she comes. She's not leaking anymore. Here is your 3-liter Powerstroke fuel filter, completely filled with fuel right now. So obviously make sure when you're gonna dump it, you're not gonna be exposing it to anything you don't want fuel on. Check it out. I don't have anything to compare it to other than the new one. Does that look bad? Does that look good? Does it look average? I don't know, give it a taste. All right, let's go get the new one. And it has a red cap on the top. Well, obviously to keep nothing from getting in there. But I'm going to use the fuel that is on my hands, and I'm actually going to lubricate this O-ring. My hands are all fueled. Okay, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. We're gonna go ahead and screw that in. You guys think you can figure that out? I'm gonna need 2 hands. Just remember to watch that stop. Remember, there was no gap. Okay, she's in, and there is no gap. The last thing I'm gonna do is get the old brake clean and give it a good douche over here. Make sure there's no fuel residue. I wouldn't want any on mine. So next step, I think you guys can reverse the removal procedure. Put that bracket back on, 4 bolts, ding, 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 and they're 13s. We're going to lower this. We're going to turn the key on 6 times. This is push button. Key on, no foot on the brake. 10 seconds, 6 times, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to replace the fuel filter under the hood. All right, the key is now off, and the last thing we're going to do is replace the fuel filter that is under the hood. It's right there, and this thing did come with some instructions, but we don't need those. You can just watch this video, and I'll show you how to remove your trim cover. You just pull up on it. You're just fighting these little rubber grommets on each side, which sit on these posts. So absolutely whatsoever not a big deal. So here is the fuel filter. All right, guys, looks like we have an Allen bolt, or Allen headed bolt. We're gonna have to loosen that, and we have 2 quick disconnects. We have this yellow one here, like this. This line slides like this. See how I'm pulling it to the back of the vehicle? Slides on and off just like that. Yep. And there's actually 2 buttons right here and right here. You're going to want to squeeze both of those buttons and you're going to pull that line off. But what I'm a little worried about is the fuel that is going to be coming out of here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to capture that, but I guess we can try to throw or stuff some rags down in here, kind of like this. I'm just gonna try to go under the belly side of the fuel filter. Kind of a crappy place to put this, if you ask me. That's just me, and what do I know? We'll put that there. Let me get one for the other side. All right, shoving this down in here. Enough room to get my finger on the buttons on that line. Okay, I think I'm satisfied with that. Again, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this with one hand. I'm gonna need my left hand possibly for this line. How does this one work? What are we looking at? We got 2 buttons on here. So we have a button here and a button directly underneath of it. So you're gonna go 12 and 6 o'clock on it, and it should pull off just like that. I didn't apply that much pressure. We're not taking this one off. I just accidentally went like this, but we're gonna leave that attached. I hear some fuel pressure. No biggie. Usually what happens when we do the fuel filters on the Super Duties, taking the upper one off, it gives you a little hiss. But you can see I'm collecting a little bit of fuel. I got wet fuel on the rag right there. Pop this off, get a little more fuel out. Actually, I guess we're gonna have to take this line off anyway. This line we're gonna have to take off, slide this blue clip like you saw me, and there's gonna be buttons right where my finger's at. You're gonna squeeze and pull that line off, catching that fuel in the rag. I'm gonna try to do something like that. All right, so let me go get another rag. I mean, I'm gonna clean all of this up. I just really hate making a mess on these dudes' trucks, man. Like, I would not want diesel fuel all over my rig. All right, I'll tell you that right now. So I'll be damned if I'm gonna leave your guys' truck like that. Try to collect as much as I can. I'm gonna leave those rags there until I'm got the fuel filter out. All right, so this guy here, I'm gonna maybe take that line even further over. You guys can see how that is orientated. Now, we already went and slid this yellow thing, clip, little, I don't know what you're gonna call it, but we're gonna slide that down. And well, it actually kind of rotated around for you. You can see what I'm doing to the line. The buttons are right there now, front and back. And I'm gonna squeeze. Let's see if I can do this. I think I got it. Yep. Same thing. Slide that line off, and I'm gonna try to collect all of the fuel coming out of that line, which is barely any, which is good. We're not making a mess. All right. I am envisioning maybe that a 4 milli. Let me see. All right, 4 milli. Let's see if 4 milli right off the rip fits. No, absolutely not. Looks like, what are we gonna be, a 5? 5 milli? 5 milli Allen? What do we got? Like a glove. All right, so now we need the driver. Always gotta keep Phillips. We're one-handed everything today. Takes us a little longer, but we got it. Silicone, we'll deal with that later. 5 milli. Quarter drive now. So that's as far as that's gonna go. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on Tighten. And now that little C-clamp is up, you guys can see you're gonna pull your fuel filter right up. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the rag around the passenger side of the fuel filter, and I'm gonna tip it up when I get it around its little holder, so it comes out like this. Fuel filter out. New fuel filter. We're gonna take these off. Now, some of you guys might be wondering which way fuel is gonna go. We're gonna be putting it with the arrow like this, and we're gonna be putting this in like that, and just kind of got it in the yellow line, just kind of just chilling. Now, I've already went and put my tool on Tighten. Snug that down. Fuel filter's kind of moving. Let's get that filter back in the middle. Let's get that filter back in the middle. Tighten that boy down. Snug it down. We're not doing any special torque spec. Now, this is going to slide back on. I just felt it engage, and we're going to give that a tug. This is going to be the same. This is just going to clip on because we didn't have anything to slide. But this blue one we did. I'm gonna pull that back around. You heard that clip. We're gonna go like that, and we're gonna try to remove all these fuely rags from the engine, and then we're going to give it another brake clean. Douche, get all that residue that would have fallen down here. This is gonna eat it all up and evaporate it as the engine's running, and the fan that I'm blowing on myself right now is also gonna help evaporate all of this brake clean. So while the truck while the truck is going to be keying on, we're going to come back over here, look for any leaks. I don't see any, but I hear the fuel going through the lines. And the last thing we're going to do is one-handedly install your trim cover back onto your F-150 Powerstroke 3-liter Lion Ford truck. All right, we're gonna go for another key cycle. All right, we're gonna do our last key cycle here, and then we're gonna fire it up. Okay, we're gonna start. Okay, engine is on. Successfully started. Fuel filters installed. Let me know, guys, if you have ever needed to know how to replace your fuel filters on your 3-liter Powerstroke, dubbed the Lion here at Ford Motor Company. Let me know what you guys do, and if you're using Motorcraft filters, which you all should be. Let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, sub, share, and I'll catch you guys all next time. See ya!